Yeah, Pete. Well, I'm in here. If you need me, just knock on the door, you know? Okay. right. Have a good luck test. Hey, what are these? What does that do? Yeah, good. All right. John, good morning. Cheers, buddy. I got some smoldering hot coffee today. Yeah, so hopefully, we can do some work today. Like go on a little bit of a stretch. So what you see in front of you, I just found this, and if you couldn't tell, this Hawkman piece, which is more Savage Hawkman. This piece, I mean, I don't even know what year, but I was clearing out some old papers, and you guys know I don't keep my old artwork around. I scan it, I get it up on the website, akapad.com, and yeah, I archive it. I don't keep my originals. I do have a little bit of a stack of things I'm working on or projects, but that's a little bit different. But yeah, old artwork does not linger much around me. And I was clearing out a stack of papers, and I must have forgot about this. This was intended for Mark Poulton years ago, and he was somewhere, and I think I was going to be like in the area or something. I want to say maybe he was going to be at a comic shop, not a convention. But him and I had worked on this one book, and at that point, I learned, and I was like really out of following like the comic book stuff at that point. But yeah, I was intending to deliver this bag to Mark with his character, Savage Hawkman, that he was working on with Rob Liefeld, and I think Marat Michaels what was on that book. Tony Daniel eventually took over the title, and yeah, give him a bag with some of our work in it. The crazy thing though is that I abandoned my like you can kind of say like comic book pursuit. I abandoned it to have a stable job, which in my view turned out to be like the better option. Get a stable job and then do the silly comic book stuff. So I must have kept the bag though. So I just like found this. So we're working on this thing years separate, right? Like we are this bag here is like I don't know when Savage Hawkman came out, but it's gotta be at least like when was New 52? Like I don't even know that. Right. Just off the top of my head. But yeah, so this was just a bag intended for Mark Poulton with some of our work in it. And we're going to finish it. Well, or like get close to finishing it. I still have to work out today. But I'm happy to just be able to kind of like wake up and not have a place to go or something pressing to jump on. So a little bit grateful for that. And I know a lot of you guys got spoiled by my availability streaming earlier this year. But the year's not over yet. So I said, let's just kind of, try and get back into a little bit of a real rhythm here. Because I got plenty of things to work on, like project wise. Yeah. And then we'll get back to drawing the book. Maybe I'll have some of you guys, I'll commission some pinups and other work. And we'll make this we'll make it like a full effort. All right, here we go. And we're kind of taking our own approach with some of the edges of the Savage Hawkman. I remember I wanted to make this whatever edges was on that initial Rob Liefeld cover. That is really well colored, by the way. Rob Liefeld's Savage Hawkman cover might be his best colored cover. Like I would say of the modern day. Of non-image, early Marvel era. It's such a good cover. And and we're going to break out the brush soon. And I think this also too was at the time doubling as a as an experiment with whiteout, or kind of maybe even white charcoal. So we can get there. Just gonna do his bit. And I think I originally intended to do all of this with Rapidiograph. But I don't know. I think that's going to take it. I'd rather get this thing done. I'd rather just get it done and use Rapidiograph throughout, but kind of focus on my brushwork. And then take it from there. Yeah, and I don't know, if we work quick enough, I would love to do the whiteout on stream with this, because I know you guys really enjoy that. We got straight up black coffee today. the roughness of the paper bag, it does it it makes a lot of this challenging now, even with a brush. It's funny too because underneath the chest here, left and right, you can see the difference just in what I learned about shadowing and contouring. It's night and day if you have a good enough eye for it. We can switch here. Go. So he does have a logo chest emblem, right? I do remember that. It's funny too, because I can't tell you how long it's been since I thought about this character. Even though I have some of this run in my like Rob Liefeld box, it's not even close to a like priority. And the reason for that is, we're just off doing like so many other things. Yeah, had the Hulk emblem. Yeah, I know. It's funny too, where that Hulk emblem too, John. It's just uh, like it's just always there. Like any version of Hulkman like has that emblem in the same area, and to me, it's a little bit like, well, like Hawkman is not really a sacred cow. and everything from Hawk World and the Tim Truman stuff. Like DC hasn't. Uh, it's like Green Lantern is a Sacred Cow or the Flash, right? Like where their redesigns have to have a certain rhythm to them. Like you kind of have to hit certain markers with those redesigns. But Hawkman and Hawkgirl, I don't think like you can kind of put that emblem anywhere or do something completely different with it. And I think that's how DC's always treated Hawkman that way. Because he never really stuck. He's still an oddity character in my view. Yeah, so what we'll do is I guess like I'll like finish this and like send it to Mark. At least tag him in a post. But it's always fun when you uncover something like this, and it's some of an unfinished project, so it's just like finish it, like just get it done, make it look cool. I think my original idea for this with the Rapidiograph only though would have not been cool to work on camera, because we got to think about that, and I think it would have taken way too long. But here, we're with a script number 3 brush, which has that super long, fine needle brush, and you can kind of simulate crow quill and Rapidiograph work. And keep in mind too, when I work with Rapidiographs, I'm simulating a lot of what I get from a crow quill, but I'm also doing a couple like shading techniques that you can't do with a crow quill, which is why you would select that. For anyone keeping track out there. Yeah. Truman stuff was Hulk World really, like at one time, to go through a little bit of the post crisis DC history. Like Hulk World really was like the preeminent version of the Hawkman, and like what Tangera is their homeworld. I forget. But it was like the version. And then like pretty much like what changed it was the that DC animated series, the like Justice League Unlimited, like kind of brought the character back to center, and then Morrison had his Justice League of America run, and at that point like people just wanted more of that like Hawkgirl kind of was more of a dominant character because of that series. And in a way, like I mean, she's in the new Superman movie, like kind of never faded from the consciousness. And that's really, I don't think that's ever happened before, where like the female version of a character eventually overtakes the original male counterpart. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened before. Some of them like popular, yes, but yeah, like Hawkman is just largely irrelevant. And that's and it's not like a negative because like in comics you need largely irrelevant characters. That's what makes finding like a learning about the characters and finding out about them and seeing them pop up in stories. Like that's what makes that part of it so freaking fun. Like you kind of need a little bit of the like unknown when you read comics. I think it's part of the psychology of it. Look at the I don't know if you can see the difference shading between the left and the right chest. Like two different versions of myself and how I see shapes right there. Or what more or less like what I try and get out of shapes. Oh, do we have an update from John? Oh, very cool. Yeah, dude. Remember, John. Always follow the Jim Shooter rule, which is, and it's not so much the Jim Shooter rule. It's also the Roy Thomas. It's always also the Estain Lee rule, which is within the first 3 pages, we have to see the hero, know the hero, understand their powers, and you can wrap that around like a conflict or the beginning of a adventure or what the character is up to. But for superhero storytelling, that is essential. And we see it like with a lot of the books I go over and discuss on the channel. We see that a lot where uh we don't like I don't know characters, like I don't know their power sets, I don't know like what are we trying to do. And it's a little bit frustrating too, reading a story and like not really having the character like name, like not knowing what the character who the character is sometimes or characters. Like you have to tag. You have to tag who you got in your story. Sam, when you get your forms down, the best, like the best thing that happens when you get your forms down is that you can. That's where you can play with the shadows, where you really can do multiple light sources, like whatever you can imagine in your mind's eye, you can put it into the forms. And that's huge. Like even for me, like that was a big part of just the growth. And that took a while to get yourself to that point. Yeah. It is funny how much of this design that I remember. Right, he's got like a chin guard. I mean, really kind of. I mean, they really tried with the new 52 with this guy, and I get it, but it didn't work, right? I mean, Hawkman like still largely non-relevant in the scope of the DC universe. Like to put the character on the map, like at this point, just with the state of the we got John back. Yeah, I mean, like the learning stage is right. The learning stage is two phases. It's you go through, a, like you go through ways to memorize, because that's really what drawing is. You just have to memorize, and once you like memorized, and you have the mind muscle connection to draw like what you think you need to draw on a regular basis, just as an illustrator, and then it's like you have to continue memorizing just like all the time. And that's kind of, some people might just call that like practice. Like you have to kind of like keep yourself loose. And that's a way to, and I'm almost, like I will say, because, I've read a lot of instructional books and, talked to plenty of people who try and teach it. They really don't, you don't hear a lot of conversation or viewpoints on memorizing, which is really weird, because the more you have in your head, the better your drawing is going to be. And the more you have in your head, the better your reference turns out. Like if you really have to draw a house or a car or a mailbox, and you have to look up quick reference, it the reference serves you 100 times better if you even, like in your mind's eye, you have a little bit of that shape down, and you're digging up your reference just to kind of understand like the beveling or like how light might hit something. Like that's reference. Reference really shouldn't be, I got no clue, and now I need like a cheat code. Like that's almost like the worst way to access to really use reference. Like, good examples right here. Like, I'm just going off of my memory. Like, and given like this is a sketch from years ago, but my my memory, like, it's like I trust my memory enough, and I trust my hand-eye coordination enough to, I'm going to be off in some areas with this. I'll tell you right now. I'm sure there's reference points I'm not remembering, but at the same time, just like get it done too, and be practiced enough and be a little bit seasoned enough to make the line work, make it come together. And if you don't have a good memory, like that's really, I think that's a disconnect. I think a lot of people that are out there and they're practicing and trying to like level up or get better, I will guarantee they don't have a strong memory. I think it's a little bit of a tell. Like even here, like I'm sure like maybe his helmet's too spiky, too many jagged edges, but it looks cool. Like we're hitting our shadows well. When we hit this thing with the whiteout, we're giving ourselves opportunities. And that's where the pre-visualize comes from. Where when you know your materials, you can pre-visualize way more accurately. Like that's maybe more of the cheat code. The more you can pre-visualize, the more you can see it before you do anything, the better your piece is going to turn out. And never be afraid to walk away. Walk away, be able to, walk away until you can visualize it, until you can walk around the block and you draw it in your head. I would almost say don't start a piece unless that is where you are. And until that point, just do sketchbook work and practice, and get more of that mind muscle connection, improve your memory, and know your materials. Like that's the formula. It is funny too, though. Like once you get the head going, right? Like once people see what you're working on, it's a whole different piece. Like until then, it's mostly just an oddity It's like, oh, that person's drawing. We can kind of, I think, move those up just a little. I mean, I think, right, it's looking. What do we got here? Yo, what's up? Excuse me. Excellency Burn. What is up? Right. That's what we're doing. We're just hanging out. We're trying, maybe do like a little bit of artwork. Maybe I'm trying to see how clear this is because it's clear on my one screen here, and I have a bigger screen, like a giant one, but it's actually a TV repurposed as a second screen. And I'm not digging the view over here, but I'm saying this one, like this one's good. But we're broadcasting in like 1080p right now, so I don't know, and we have a direct connection. Yeah, I don't know if it's like like maybe it's like I was I would say technology today is more user friendly and easier. Like if it's my ISP that's making the image pixelated, like there's nothing I can do about that. That's Comcast. Well, we'll see because sometimes when I with my playbacks, it's like things look fine with the playback. So, but yeah, I'll go back and I'll hit the pavement, scream at the clouds after this, trying to figure out how to make the image a little bit better. And that's all you can do sometimes. Sometimes it's not even like a big improvement. It's like a just enough improvement. I'm just kind of happy that some of these reflections are coming off the right way here. And because of the paper, like I'm forced to work with the line work in a particular way, which is valuable. Like I cannot stress doing pieces in with non-conventional surfaces. It sharpens the blade so much because it really teaches you about. I mean, I call it surface. It's really called the support, but the support of the piece. See, and like that's our. We were supposed to get a massive snowstorm in Philly. Yeah, many factors. Correct. Yeah. Here in Philly, just a little bit of a weather note. We were supposed to get this crazy, crazy weather storm, a snowstorm yesterday, and it flurried for about an hour, and it wasn't even like a full inch. And the sun, because I got Philly right here, the complete skyline too, so I can see the two or three of the streets I live above, and they are completely cleared. So, and I knew people canceling events and trips today, with the anticipation that they were going to get snowed in. All right, so we got his wings here. So the rest of this, it's like we do have his right bicep, but we have his fins on his head, and then we have his gauntlet. He's holding an axe with with another gauntlet, and then we have his legs. So all the skin work is just about done. But I did want to make him hairy, and that's where I'm 50-50. If I can get enough of the dots in there. But I can use the Rapidio, which I might do. All right. Yeah, and I apologize. I that sun now is ripping into my drawing desk. Like the one thing we can always, I think the hardest part or piece of the Rob Liefeld style, especially from this era, is like how round he did his biceps. And I know like I think there's been some like newer young blood covers, and I think some of that is getting emulated a little bit, but I think other illustrators try and uh, they're trying to replicate it, not really copy it, but figure it out and kind of like put a little bit of their signature on it. Yeah, it can be fun, but it still needs to be correct, John. Like it needs to be in a proper proportion, and it needs to work like within your style or like that universe you're rendering. Because like that's a little bit of the secret sauce when it comes to like comic book illustration. Like you're kind of drawing your own reality, so things have to be consistent in that reality. So I guess like some of that too stems from like why I don't like homage covers, because I think they break the illusion. You know, like they break the illusion of another fantasy world. Because now you see a homage cover, and number one, yeah, I got complex opinions about homage covers, but it's it's like they're unoriginal, uh, wasted real estate, because like you can kind of um use that opportunity to come up with something better, right? But then it's like what, like low hanging fruit for like recognition. Like I don't even know. I but I think it kind of breaks the illusion though, right? Like just imagine if like the original Lord of the Rings were homage covers, like the novels, right? Or imagine if uh like Led Zeppelin used homage covers for their albums. Like it would not they would not have any impact. They would be looked at differently. So like I don't want to break the illusion. Like I want when people see like a Peter A. DeLuca piece, I want them to kind of uh, know what to like. It's almost like subconscious. Like you want a subconscious connection with your audience. So when you exaggerate like a chest or muscles or hair, buildings, it's all within a certain spectrum. But that spectrum is like your world and what you create. It's like the logic that you have. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta check my phone, and I need to. I don't have any aqua. I need some brush water. I don't have any on my table, and I'm going to top off my coffee. So give me a couple. I'll be right back. What was that crash? Any idea? What's going on? How are you feeling? Well, yeah, I'm on my little bit of a break. To top off my coffee and everything. Why you want to argue? Dallas was a good play, but a lot of it's close.
I know. So cute.
Where is the little book?
He's on the belt.
Without paying the price. Without paying the price. Which is a kiss. Baby, give me a kiss. Don't just give me that dirty cheek. Just as a clean. Yeah, let me just have it just so I can go through it. No, keep it out so I can go through it. Dallas has been so extra bratty today.
Grabby.
So we got them on there? Where do we come? Ninja product influencers. All right, kiddo. Let me go. Yeah, I don't know how much further I'm going to go, but let me just sit back down. See you, kiddo. Hey, John, I am so sorry. You were commenting on the paper. I misread. Just keep in mind too, my screen is a little. I should have turned my head on my bigger screen for that, but I misread what you wrote, buddy. So looks like I did a meaningless tangent. But some of that does apply. Yeah, the homage cover observation. All right. We are still trying to get this piece done. And let's just pinpoint. See, so sometimes, right, the smudginess of the pencil, right? So it's almost like his fins just remind me so much of the Archangel. When Archangel, right, like those wings were the coolest thing in comics at one time. Like total, like fantasy character look. Here we go. We're still trying to, like you still follow principles, right? To even like here, like talking about just memorizing and having a path sometimes. Like here, I'm mentally like I'm referencing what I know about wings, so I don't have to look it up. Like I kind of have enough in my mind's eye to Here we go. Right, like the wings, kind of like crazy looking wings. There we go. Oh, sorry. Here we go. I got some random size type of bird. Yeah, John. Make a look right here, John. And I'm sorry if if I'm slow with catching up with some of this. Make a project out of it, John. Like like that's one of the best ways to learn about a surface or a support is make a project and like see it through, like complete the project as much as you can, as close to you can. uh giving yourself projects, like this, a lot of it kind of goes down to like when we were talking about sketchbooks earlier. uh like give yourself work, on the materials. Like for example, like if you wanted to learn to work with acrylics, give yourself acrylic projects. Say like, hey, I'm going to try and do scenery. Let me do like a bunch of cars, or uh let me do the classic Marvel 60s characters in the 60s style in acrylic. And you say, look, I want to do like all the original characters. So you make a list. It might be like 30 or 40 guys. I will guarantee by the end of that project, you will understand acrylic more so than if you did like if you took a course in it. And that doesn't mean you can't do both. Like, look up things along the way and get better with the material. And what you'll find out though is that the more you work with something, the better you get. So you might just get a little anal, because it's always about being anal. And you might say to yourself, like, oh, let me go back and redo my earlier pieces so that now as a series, everything is consistent, or as consistent as humanly possible. That's really the only. I don't think there's any other way to learn materials and surfaces. There you go. Yeah, it's a lot of the guys when they get older, they go two up. And who's it? Carrie Andrews. He was just posting two up, which is weird because I would have thought a lot of his modern Marvel work was 1-to-1, or like at least 17 by 11. But yeah, aka Patters, you get old, your eyes are going to go, so it's okay. Even John Byrne went two up when he got older. And some of it too is with the bigger surface, your excuse me, your hand doesn't have to be quite exact. So it's not just eyesight too. It's some of it is hand-eye coordination. That stuff goes. But look, if you want to illustrate too, and if you want to be in it for the long haul, you got to take yourself seriously. You got to exercise. You got to read a lot so that you maintain your memory. You have to, and hey, and I'm guilty of this. You got to get good with cardio. And this year, I'm hoping, just because I did, like, I really feel like content wise for the channel, like we're in like a really good spot where I can get back to like morning routines. So it's stuff like that. And part of my morning routine I wanted for years was to wake up and row. row for like just like a couple thousand meters every single day in the morning, and then work out later. But you got to give yourself regular challenges, and you got to give yourself regular projects outside of commissions and things you want to work on. And you got to be aggressive about identifying your comfort zones and what you're good at and what you're not. There is no other method. And like the names, like like even within like our circle, a lot of the like you can go if you go through someone's like work history, what they posted on Instagram, what they have on their website, and if you don't see like a clear, obvious improvement or transition of not just style, but technique, like a mastery of your tools, if you don't see that stuff, like, I hate to say it, but that's not the person to take any advice from at all. And this is beyond being like famous or well known or being a thought leader. Like, you should only take illustration advice from people you have identified as improving year to year. And if the person doesn't have that stuff available, well, and this, so much of this too flows right into these AI conversations, where it's going to be like, oh, well, we can't hire you because we don't have a lineage of your work online. Like, like, we can't work with you. We don't know if you're real or not. So I think we're going to see a shift. I think the people who are online that can draw on camera, like everything you see here, guys, I think those are the people that are going to kind of get more of the work when they go for it. But I'll tell you this, though. It's like your contemporaries, they hate AI. Your publisher loves it. So you got to be both. You got to be good with AI. AI takes skill. I don't know what it's so confusing to me when people pretend it doesn't take a ton of practice and knowledge to learn how to use it. So any artists out there, like, do both. Learn the practical, become an expert with the practical, but get good with AI. Don't be left behind. And that's for now. Like, that's just the position now. That doesn't mean it can't change, and it very well may. So it's not doom and gloom. It's just positioning yourself for the best outcome, and being aggressive about it and being good about it, and not like kind of following what you see online and thinking those people know enough. So you're just out there repeating it. It's like, fuck that. You gotta be able to see the marketplace. And if you can't, then, well, like, practice that too. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, 24 by 36. Dude, at one time, here's the crazy thing. At one time, that size paper was almost $100 for sheet, for the like the Strathmore. Like maybe I'm exaggerating a little. Like not 100, maybe like 50 or $60. It was so much more expensive than the other sizes, and only like even in Jersey, like I only remember seeing that size on the shelf without being special ordered a few times. Like now because of Amazon, like we can all get it, which is actually really good. But well, we got the head, guys. That's our boy. This is our guy. So, and then sometimes here, like we pinpoint the best spots for our little chunks like falling off of him. All that debris, the motion, the heaviness. And right, like, does he have does he have wings? Do I have to draw some wings here? That's what I gotta look up. Total brain fart on the wings. And I'm pretty sure I can just do like a nondescript spike gauntlet thingy, right? Because like it's the nth metal, right? That's what he has control over, right? And that's that's from New 52, if I recall. I may be wrong. It does make you feel sorry just for the character. You're just like, man, like what else do they need to do for Hawkman? Kind of just to make people like him. I mean, I still think, right, is Hawk World like the longest running Hawkman, like outside of the early days? And the last time I remember, I think it was like Identity Crisis. Right, that was like when they kind of had the Hawkman, um, Adam Strange, right? Like his people and the Hawk people had like a war. That was kind of cool. That's like as cool as the Elenians fighting the Themyscira, the Themyscirians, the Wonder Woman chicks. That's kind of cool. Themyscira. I can't even think of how to pronounce that right now. Here we go. Yeah, like it, like in a way, John. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, it will be advice you want to learn from. So it's like only contemporaries. Like, I think on a education level, like that's true. But the other, you do have to accept the other side of that, which is, does like the general person, right? So like you go through like the academic side. So it would be like, hey, let me show my stuff to Pete. Uh, like let me allow Pete to be as honest as possible. Maybe I can improve, right? But then it's the general audience. So does like the general audience adopt your style? Do they like, so that kind of goes from like the two different spheres, which is like Jim Lee. And yeah, and I'm only talking 90s because I know you like the 90s stuff. Jim Lee was like Marvel's. There was a reason why they call him Marvel's Golden Boy, because he was like the company guy. Like Jim Lee, like perfect for Marvel. Marvel liked him. They were okay with his like deadlines and his frequency, right? But then Todd McFarlane, who you could argue like he was the superior popular one, right? Like McFarlane more popular than Jim Lee. So, but McFarlane had the audience, right? Like McFarlane had the fans, Jim Lee had the company. So you want to find, and Jim Lee's also popular with the fans, but like you're either one or the other. Like Rob Liefeld, like better with fans ever, like reception as he was within any of the companies, even his own that he worked for. So some artists are like that. Yeah, like would I love to hang out with some of these guys and kind of like improve and get tips or just like little tricks here and there, like maybe, but I still know it's going to come down to technique and practice and how well I can control. I mean, if you can't draw, like if you're not an illustrator, no good advice will help you. Like that's the harsh reality. If you can't draw, drawing advice doesn't help you. What we got here? Yes, this is Hawkman. New 52 Savage Hawkman on a paper bag. Because, that's how we do things here. Yeah, I don't know. Like, John, I have to catch up with the new stuff, dude. I am like, I kind of hit a wall this year, dude. Like, I had a full revelation this year where I'm like, am I betraying? Like, right? Like, I need better perspective. I need the newer stuff. Like, that's it. Anyone that pops in and can identify the character, thank you. It's like I'm trying to draw his emblem, and because it's football season, what's coming out is the Atlanta Falcons head. But I think we're there, guys. It is the weekend. I got to work out. I do have something at 11. It's 10 o'clock here, East Coast, Philadelphia, PA time. So I will say it. thank you for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I think we got some new people. So anyone that's new, we do videos. We have a podcast. If you just subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the feed, you should get updates on all of that. But you can always search for AKA Pad. Just Google that, and a lot of my other stuff should come up. So, guys, I love you. Rock and roll. We're going to wrap it up. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a video here. You know, as a thank you, as a goodbye. So until next time.